A speleological primer. Text and photographs by Jack Lamb, a pictorial reference resource of the geological cave formations and biological cave inhabitants, frequently observed in caves and cavern systems. Copyright 2026 John S. Lamb. All rights reserved. Spelunkers, cave explorers, assemble at a cave entrance prior to an exploration. Geological cave formations. A waterfall discovered within an underground cave system. Stalactite tip formation, known as a calcite soda straw. All stalactites form through the deposition of calcite, which occurs when rainwater-soaked leaves and other organic matter pools on the forest floor, and over time produces carbonic acid. This carbonic acid then seeps through the ground, dissolving calcium carbonate, CaCO3, from the limestone above the cave, which it then carries as it seeps downward. This mineral-rich water then slowly drips into the cave where, as the water evaporates, the calcium carbonate crystallizes, forming a calcite ring around the edge of each water drop suspended from the cave ceiling. Only when the water is supersaturated with the CaCO3 does deposition occur. This deposition slowly accumulates, growing incrementally, continuously building downward, layer by layer over perhaps centuries to form even a few centimeters, until it eventually creates a soda straw. A soda straw is a thin hollow tube growing straight down, which eventually appears like the calcite straw in the above photograph. In dry caves, evaporation accelerates deposition, precipitating calcite while shaping the stalactite's taper. Stalactites are formed only under precise conditions of chemistry, airflow, and drip rate. As time passes, the deposition of calcite occurs along the entire length of the stalactite, thickening the width of the cave formation. Instead of just elongating the stalactite, some calcite is deposited along the sides, gradually increasing its diameter. Over time, successive droplets leave behind thin calcite layers. These build up concentrically, thickening the stalactite. So, while many stalactites begin as hollow soda straws, if the central channel becomes clogged, mineral deposition shifts outward, accelerating thickening. Whereas stalactites grow downward from the ceiling of a cave, a stalagmite is a speleothem cave formation that grows upward from the cave floor, formed by the accumulation of mineral deposits from water dripping off the cave ceiling or a stalactite. When droplets hit the cave floor, carbon dioxide is lost to the air, causing calcite crystals to precipitate. As in the formation of stalactites, each drop leaves behind a tiny ring of calcite. And over the centuries or even the millennia, these rings build upward into a pointed-shaped cone or a broad and rounded mound. And when it merges with the dripping stalactite above, it can often form a pillar or column. Massively large calcite stalagmites, each one day to perhaps become a column. Close-up photograph of 3 massive stalagmites. Photograph of thin stalagmites called calcite draperies. Other types of cave formation, called cave spar, composed of calcite, CaCO3, gypsum, CaSO4 2H2O, or fluorite are often found in caves. Cave spar refers to large, well-formed crystals, typically of calcite or gypsums, which grow in caves under specific geochemical conditions. Evaporation, or CO2 degassing, causes minerals to precipitate. These crystals are often transparent or translucent and can resemble the inside of a geode, with sharply defined faces and dramatic clarity. These euhedral crystals have clear to milky white well-formed faces, with crystals several inches long, often resembling spearheads. Cave spar, of calcite and fluorite, cover the ceiling of this low crawlway in a cave. A speleothem called a gypsum flower actually looks like a growing plant. Gypsum needles are the rare crystalline formation of the subterranean world. Gypsum needles are slender, elongated crystals of selenite, a transparent form of gypsum, CaSO4 2H2O. The most delicate and visually striking of the speleothems, needles only grow in gypsum-rich sediments also rich in evaporite minerals and saturated calcium sulfate, but only when the temperature and humidity are stable, and the air is still. These formations are among the most delicate and visually striking speleothems, often resembling glassy quills or frozen filaments. Needles usually have a uniform cross-section, and can be straight or curved, with twinning at the ends. Close-up photograph of a single gypsum needle. Wafting in a wind, angel hair is a rare delicate gypsum speleothem. Subject to the pull of gravity wherein stalactites or stalagmites grow vertically, helictites grow in seemingly impossible directions, twisting, curling, spiraling, looping, and branching, as if grown in zero gravity. And unlike stalactites, the water doesn't fall, but deposits in place. Helictites are the most mysterious and delicate speleothems found in caves. Water travels through microscopic and invisible channels inside helictites, while hydrostatic pressure forces mineral-rich water to emerge at the tip. Then evaporation deposits calcite or aragonite on all the growing branches. This interplay allows the crystal to grow laterally, upward, or spirally, thus defying gravitational norms. Biological cave inhabitants. A bat hangs by its talons from the cave ceiling, likely asleep. The bat in the above photograph is the tricolored bat, Paramyotus subflavus, formerly known as the eastern pipistrelle. Bat droppings, or guano, supports microbial and invertebrate cave communities. And as bats are sensitive to changes in temperature and humidity, it's an indicator of the cave's overall health. Although small in size, it is finely tuned to its underground environment. Paramyotus subflavus is a model for adaptation, thriving despite the constraints imposed by the cave. Bats employ high-frequency echolocation to navigate cluttered cave environments. Bats are not blind as most think. For despite their reliance on sound to navigate in flight, bats possess both sharp hearing and sight. A troglobite salamander of the genus Eurysea, which includes cave-adapted species. This species of salamander is a definitive troglobite, an organism strictly adapted to live in caves. These creatures have evolved to thrive in absolute darkness to such a degree, they are no longer able to survive in surface environments. That said, troglobites exhibit specialized traits, such as reduced eyesight and unique sensory adaptations, which they use to navigate and find food in dark, nutrient-poor habitats. Cave dwellers by necessity, salamanders evolved regressive traits, like depigmentation, reduced vision, and enhanced tactile and chemical sensing. In essence, it is a living model of adaptive simplicity, thriving in an environment which strips away excess while rewarding adaptation. Based on distinctive markings, this may be a grotto salamander, Eurysea spelea. This cave-adapted isopod may belong to the Chesidotia or Acellus genera. A translucent body, segmented exoskeleton, and paired appendages are all classic features of troglobitic isopods, which are adapted to life in caves. Cave isopods often exhibit depigmentation, pale or translucent body, reduced or absent eyes, elongated antennae and legs for enhanced tactile and chemical sensing, as well as a slow metabolism due to nutrient scarcity. Moreover, because many isopods live in subterranean streams or pools, they may require an aquatic habitat. Because the above-listed genera indicate highly specialized cave-adapted lineages, some isopods may be endemic to a single cave system, and are of immense interest in evolutionary biology and conservation. The amphipod in this photograph is likely a member of the genus Stygobromus. The genus Stygobromus exemplifies speciation through ecological isolation. Each cave system acts as a microcosm wherein genetic drift and environmental constraint drive divergence, as populations evolve semi-independently wherein limited gene flow leads to high endemism. These amphipods mirror digital agents in constrained environments, resulting in minimal input and maximal adaptation. Hence, the following traits are all troglobitic, or fully cave-adapted, possessing a lack of pigmentation, reduced or absent eyes, elongated antennae, and periopods, and likely maintain a very localized distribution. This photograph beautifully captures a member of the Campodiidae family. One of the most primitive and enigmatic groups within the insect class, these creatures belong to the order Dipleura, known for their two prominent cerci, or tail-like appendages. Campodiidae traits include elongated and segmented soft and slender body with pale pigmentless coloration, adaptation for life in soil or cave crevices, beaded and highly sensitive long antennae used for tactile and chemical sensing, two long thread-like and many segmented cerci likely used for navigation and environmental sensing, and an eyeless head. In truth, these insects lack compound eyes entirely, and exclusively rely on mechanoreception. Campodidae possess rare ecological and evolutionary significance in a number of unique traits. They are entognatous hexapods. Unlike true insects, their mouthparts are enclosed within the head capsule. Ametabolous, do not undergo metamorphosis, juveniles resemble adults. Detritivores, feed on decaying organic matter, fungi, and microbial biofilms. Bioindicators, their presence in caves signal stable microclimates and low disturbance. In most cave systems, Campodidae species are often endemic, meaning they exist nowhere else. Their evolutionary trajectory reflects regressive adaptation, such as losing unnecessary traits, like eyes and pigment, while enhancing others, like sensory antennae. From a systems thinking perspective, Campodidae are minimalist navigators operating in low-information environments with high sensory efficiency. Models of constraint-driven evolution with morphology shaped by the cave's boundaries, darkness, isolation, and nutrient scarcity. Living metaphors for epistemology, they know their world through touch and chemistry, not sight, an elegant parallel to non-visual cognition and embodied intelligence. Campodidaes are eyeless, pigmentless hexapods that thrive in the low-information environments of caves. Their sensory architecture is a masterclass in embodied cognition. They don't see the world, they feel it, smell it, and navigate it through a decentralized, feedback-rich system. This troglodytic millipede is likely a Scoterpes or Causiella species. This cave-adapted millipede, often found deep in cave systems, shows classic troglomorphic traits: translucent cuticle, elongated body, numerous fine legs, and lack of pigmentation or visible eyes. These features are hallmarks of obligate cave dwellers that evolved in stable, dark environments. Another trait of Scoterpes, family, Polydesmidae, include a pale flattened body with lateral extensions. These slow-moving detritivores are key decomposers in cave ecosystems, feeding on fungal hyphae, decaying organic matter, and microbial biofilms. Their presence indicates a healthy detrital food web. A pseudoscorpion arachnid resembles a scorpion but lacking a tail and stinger. This cave-adapted species, likely from the family Chernetidae or Neobisidae, has large pedipalps, pincers, used for grasping prey and injecting venom through specialized glands. They display reddish-brown or pale coloration, a flat body and elongated legs, reduced or absent eyes, and sensory hairs on pedipalps and legs for detecting prey in darkness. Pseudoscorpions are micropredators, and play a vital role in cave ecosystems, helping to regulate populations of cave-dwelling mites, springtails, fungal gnats, and small insects. Their presence indicates a healthy microfaunal community and stable humidity levels. This arachnid is likely a troglodytic harvestman of the Liobunum species. Based on the morphology of this arachnid, particularly the fused body segments, extremely long legs, and lack of pigmentation, this isn't a true spider but rather a harvestman. Its traits include eyeless or reduced eyes, a pale and pigmentless body, extremely long legs for tactile navigation, and a fused cephalothorax and abdomen. This troglodytic harvestman is adapted to total darkness, low-energy environments, and stable cave microclimates. It might be considered a living metaphor for embodied cognition, navigating the world through touch, vibration, and chemical cues rather than sight. A predatory cave webworm gliding along a solitary thread in an Ozark cave. Macrocera nobilis, or a webworm, is a predatory fungus gnat, which in its larval stage spins a silken web strand anchored to rock or clay surfaces in as yet only 2 reported Missouri caves. Gliding solitarily along this silken thread, similar to the web strands of a spider, it captures live prey such as cave invertebrates, and is known to cannibalistically consume its own species, surviving on nourishment sticking to its unitary lifeline, until it eventually transforms into a gnat and flies away. This silk-based predation strategy is exceptionally rare among Diptera, making M. nobilis a standout example of convergent evolution with spiders and net-spinning caddisflies. The Tumbling Creek cave snail, Antrobia culveri, has been found in only one cave. As the only species in the genus Antrobia, This rare aquatic troglodytic freshwater snail, Antrobia culveri, is an endangered species. As an aquatic gastropod mollusk in the family Amnicolidae, it possesses gills and an operculum allowing it to thrive in aquatic cave environments. The habitat for this nearly extinct species is exclusively restricted to merely 23 meters of water habitat in a single cave stream in Tumbling Creek Cave, the only location where it is known to live. This snail is a striking example of cave endemism and evolutionary specialization. Antrobia culveri offers a compelling case study in how isolated hydrological niches foster unique biodiversity. A real threat to the geological and biological ecosystems within caves is people. Sadly, people can both inadvertently and advertently cause a lot of damage to the delicate geological and biological ecosystems displayed in this paper. Experienced cave explorers and attentive speleologists always watch where they place their feet, so they do not accidentally crush fragile cave formations which might have taken hundreds of years to grow, or step on frail cave creatures struggling to survive in the nutrient-deficient subterranean environment. Thus, when we visit a cave, it is wise to follow the policy statement of the National Speleological Society: take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints. Caves are mystical and magical. One never knows what curiosities and wonders might be encountered in a cave. Note: all the photographs in this paper were taken within caves and cavern systems explored more than 50 years ago, using a Nikon F camera, a variety of lenses, and Kodak Ektachrome film. For the extreme close-ups of the cave creatures, I employed a 55mm Nikkor macro lens with a variety of extension tubes, as well as a bellows as needed. Lighting was provided by a Honeywell electronic flash unit. And on occasion, I lit magnesium strips, which for the larger cave chambers were used to paint the scene with several flashes.